tonight, the battle for the Maryland State High School Football Championship gets underway as Westlake meets Thomas Stone in the Class 3A quarterfinals. Matt Volland and Roy Yanish with you from Alumni Stadium at Thomas Stone High School. Tonight's game coinciding with the release of the new James Bond movie, The World Is Not Enough, and obviously last week's SMAC championship game was not enough as these two teams do it again tonight. But first, let's take a look back at last week's great SMAC championship game.
Bond. James Bond. James Bond.
Wow, what a great game that was last week, Roy, and the two teams meeting again tonight, this time in the Class 3A quarterfinals. Let's talk about, first of all, Gonzi Gray scored the opening touchdown in last week's ball game. We noticed he didn't play much after that. Turned out he sprained his ankle. What's his status tonight?
Well, he was on crutches until Wednesday. They tried to practice him Thursday. He's not even dressed tonight, Matt. Defensive back, running back, that's a key loss for Westlake.
Now, reading in the paper, there might be some new wrinkles offensively for both of these teams. What have you heard, and what effect will that have tonight?
I think Westlake has to, with their big line, has to run right at Thomas Stone. Thomas Stone's defensive front is ultra quick. However, I think Westlake has to throw the ball early just to keep Thomas Stone honest and not to be able to put 9 men in the box. I think Thomas Stone is basically going to run the same thing. They had 2 key passes, as you saw in one of them in the highlights. Budenbender hit a couple of key ones, but I think if Marcus Whalen is healthier, they may even go outside more. He was successful going off tackle and bouncing it outside.
Obviously, these two teams very evenly matched. Who has the edge tonight if either team does?
I don't think either team does. It's really an emotional game. Whenever you play back-to-back like that, it's just a tension-filled game, and it's going to be a real evenly fought game.
Class 3A quarterfinals coming up, tonight's JCTV Game of the Week. The Thomas Stone Cougars won the coin toss, deferred. Westlake elected to receive, and we're just set to get underway.
Mike Fenimore to kick off. Very strong leg.
JCTV Game of the Week, as always, brought to you by Walmart of Waldorf. The 3A quarterfinal matchup between Westlake Thomas Stone is underway. Mike Mills on the kick return. Out to the 35-yard line.
Matt, there's a lot of emotion in this game, and Thomas Stone has dedicated this game to the memory of Anderson Smiley Brock, a member of their freshman football team who was tragically killed in an accident a couple weeks ago, and our condolences go out to the family and friends of Anderson Smiley Brock.
Obviously a very emotional game for the Cougars last week. They found out about that just prior to the game.
There is the Thomas Stone Brain Trust on the sidelines. Had that great win last week, now have to come back and do it all over. We'll see if Dominic Zaccarelli has added any new wrinkles. Larry Johnson, the starting quarterback.
Wolverines start from the 34-yard line. Going to the air on first down. Pass is complete for a short gain.
Minton on the catch. But, Matt, that's a good call. Stone looking for the run, even though they gained only a couple of yards. Westlake has to show that they can throw the ball a little bit.
Larry Johnson, just 2 pass attempts a week ago.
There's Emmanuel Birch, Big Randy Starks. We'll try to set all the offensive linemen for you.
One back in the backfield, Evans in motion, going to the far side. He gets the call. Tries to round the corner, wrapped up for a gain of 1.
Good stop on the far side by Marcus Whalen. Number 50 is Robert Pepper. 22, Jamal Sheard. 2, Mike Finnemore. 73 is War. 55 is Marv Roussel. 53, you see Charles Thomas. 73, we said, was Marcus War.
3rd and long, 3rd down and 7 for Westlake. Johnson back to pass again. Quick hitter complete to Chisley for a Westlake first down.
A 2-step drop by Johnson through to his big target, 6'5", Levon Chesley. And Westlake throwing the ball on 2 out of the 3 downs that they've had the ball.
So 3rd and long on the first series. Westlake comes up with the first down, spotted at the 47. Gunderson, the wide out near side this time. Split backs behind Johnson.
Comes the option.
Johnson gives it off as that Hicks on the carry. Whoever it is, smothered for a short gain.
One of the things you have to do against Thomas Stone is make a quick read and be decisive. If you try to stretch the play out too long, they're too quick, and they run to the ball extremely well.
Was Dennis Hicks on the carry, 100 yards in last week's ball game, and a touchdown.
Manuel Birch, 68, the big left tackle for Westlake, a big line. Jeff Moore, the center.
Split backs again, fakes to Evans. Larry Johnson's going to keep it, hit for a loss.
Mike Farland running to the football, the senior, banged up. I think he had a shoulder injury. He's going to play hurt, and he just came right through, and another tackle for loss for Farland.
Farland nails Johnson for a loss of 2, make it 3rd down and 11.
There is a part of the capacity crowd here. 2 weeks in a row in Charles County. Great football atmosphere. Thomas Stone and Westlake.
Estimated crowd of between 5,000 and 6,000 fans at the game last week. 3 wideouts on this play for the Wolverines. Johnson throwing far side, lobbing it up for Chisley, too far and out of bounds.
What they're going to do is try to use Chesley's height. Mark Johnson was in coverage, but the ball was well overthrown, and we'll have our first punt of the game.
Dropping back deep, 32, Marcus Whalen gets his first opportunity to touch the ball tonight.
Thomas Stone, one of the best kick return teams in the conference.
Robbie Paskovich on the punt. It's high, it's a good one. Whalen forced to call for the fair catch, drops it, but falls on it immediately at the 20-yard line.
Paskovich kicks the ball high and does not permit returns, which is a good strategy. Last week, as you remember, Thomas Stone had a kickoff return as Mark Johnson took it right up the gut.
So Thomas Stone's defense holds. They take over, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Marcus Whalen, the featured back, at tailback in the I formation. Mike Finnemore, the fullback. Phil Budenbender up under center at quarterback. Handoff Whalen. Gets around the corner far side. Close to a Cougar first down.
And that's the play last week that was the most successful one, with Whalen off tackle, bouncing it outside and getting good yardage. You see 61 there, Nick Thompson, Marcus War on that line, David Tall.
51, Eric Robertson.
Timon Barnes, 84, coming into the lineup.
Thomas Stone Cougar offensive huddle. There's the Wolverine defense.
Birch, 68, Stark, 63, Ricardo Evans, 42. You got Jason Tate, 72, Maurice Smith, their leading tackler, is the middle backer. Likes to blitz. Here he comes.
Split backs, 2nd down and 3. First down carry for the Cougars by Marcus Whalen.
That's their first down.
Thomas Stone making their first playoff appearance since 1996.
They really, I think, drew a good bracket, Matt, because Seneca Valley, who nobody wants to play, is in the other bracket. And if either of these teams continue to win, they would not have to play Seneca until the championship game.
First out Cougars from the 32-yard line. Budenbender running the option, keeps it, and hit for a short gain.
Not much there. Really good pursuit by Ricardo Evans, who filled, and Budenbender did not have a chance to get out and run the option there.
Now apparently this is the new wrinkle that Rich Callahan is adding to the offense. We don't really think of Thomas Stone as an option team. Have they been working on this a lot?
Oh, yeah, they run it occasionally. In years past, that was a feature, a staple of the Thomas Stone offense. Yeah, they run it.
Call it a gain of 1, 2nd and 9 Cougars. Barnes just off the line far side. Split backs, Fenimore and Whalen. Pitch to Fenimore. Trying to get around the corner, does so, but hit hard there. Mike Mills makes the defensive stop.
Mike Mills, 3, the inside backer, had 11 tackles against Thomas Stone last week, one of the leading tacklers on this club, the senior.
Thomas Stone faces their first 3rd and long, 3rd down and 8.
The winner of this ball game would play the winner of the Milford Mill Randallstown game from Baltimore County. Milford Mill 10-0, Randallstown 8-2 next week.
Anton Washington in motion near side. Budenbender under pressure, steps up in the pocket, drops the ball, picks it back up, and the Cougars dodged a bullet there.
Jason Tate on the stop, but Thomas Stone will have their first punting opportunity of the game.
4th down and 5, and how many times did we see that last week? Stone dropped the ball, but always seemed to get it back.
And the thing last week, Matt, Stone had the better field position throughout, especially the first half and most of the game. We'll see how it goes. It's been pretty even thus far. We'll see the distance and depth on Mike Fenimore's kick.
Gunderson, one of the Wolverines back deep, along with Mills. Gunderson lets it bounce. A Cougar roll, and it rolls dead at the 20-yard line.
About a 50-yard kick after the roll, Matt, so that's a very good kick for Fenimore, especially with no return.
6:26 left here first quarter. No score in the ball game. It's Thomas Stone and Westlake in the Class 3A quarterfinals. Westlake's second possession here of the first quarter. Starts from their own 20-yard line.
Dennis Hicks, the bread and butter, fullback up the middle. Good yardage on first down. Nice block by the E-man, Emmanuel Birch.
Again, Hicks, the leading ball carrier, with a touchdown last week. Gonzi Gray with the touchdown, and we talked about it pregame. Ricardo Evans has not scored a touchdown since week 4 against McDonough.
Ricardo got banged up about midpoint in the season and just rounding back into shape. Stone, very difficult, Matt, to run against East and West. Westlake's most effective offense is going straight at them, where their line is bigger and stronger.
Minton in motion from the slot far side. He gets the call, upended after a short gain.
Big hit there by the senior Mike Fenimore. Defensive back, running back, kick returner, punter, kickoff man, extra point kicker, an emotional leader. He does it all.
3rd down and 4 Wolverines from their own 26-yard line.
There's Rich Callahan, Dave Kostovic, part of the Stone coaching staff, Doug Lamb. Last time, Johnson looked for Levon Chisley, and he is out here on one-on-one coverage.
Looked like he was looking for him again, unloaded it short to Minton.
Yeah, he had to get rid of that ball quicker than he wanted to.
Well, Johnson passed just 2 times in last week's game. No completions, 1 interception. Thrown, 3 times already here in the first quarter?
4 I have.
All right.
We'll have Paskovich second punt.
And you see the field position starting to go the Cougars' way.
You saw Dominic Zaccarelli.
As Whalen stands at his 40-yard line.
Very high short kick.
Good high kick from Paskovich. Whalen will have no shot at this one. Bounces on the Wolverine side of midfield. Now takes a roll and rolls dead at the 40.
But Matt, let's look at field position. Westlake started on their 20. Thomas Stone will start on their 40.
Starting to look a little bit like last week's game as far as field position goes. Let's talk about turnovers last week, Roy. Westlake with 3, Thomas Stone with none. In the last 2 ball games against Thomas Stone, Westlake's coughed it up 6 times.
And you just can't do that when you don't have good field position. Both teams want to make the other team go 70 or 80 yards because they feel their defenses are good enough to stop them. It's just you can't give them a short field of 20 or 30 yards. Full house backfield, elephant backfield.
Good shot of the linemen there, the ones who make it possible for Marcus Whalen to gain over 1,500 yards, and there he goes again.
Nice wrinkle there. Thomas Stone lining up with a little different formation, little ball fake there, and a good gain.
7 yards for Whalen on first down.
First time in a long time that two SMAC teams have been in the playoffs together and have played each other. I know several years ago, McDonough played Northern. That was a long time ago. Full house backfield again.
Two backs lined up in front of Whalen, deep in the formation. Marcus gets the call again.
Evans.
Somebody on the bottom of that pile grabbed Whalen's legs first. Evans came in to finish him off.
Very little or no gain. 3 Mills down there. Looks like Jason Tate getting up too. So good defensive play that time by Westlake. And we've had a lot of third down situations here early in the game. Westlake has had 2 possessions. This is Thomas Stone's second. It's like a cat and mouse game here.
3rd and 2. Barnes checks back in with the play.
Both bleachers filled, fans ringing the entire field around the fence. Another huge crowd here.
I formation this time. Whalen hit close to the sticks.
Looks short, Matt, but we'll have a measurement. It looked like initially he was going to have no trouble, but one thing Westlake's doing very well is putting pads on Marcus tonight.
Marcus Whalen quoted in the Washington Post this past week, and I will read the quote directly. Westlake is 8 and 2. I don't think they should even be in the playoffs. And I tell you what, from two teams who really seem to watch their comments over the last couple of weeks, I was pretty surprised to see that.
Marcus, usually a very quiet, understated young man, and Stone just short on that. We'll see if Rich Callahan is going to go for it. He and Pye Dent giving the play into Mike Finnemore.
4th and inches.
So you can do 2 things here. You can run the hard count and try to draw Westlake offside, or if you have a backs like Whalen and Finnemore, both over 1,000 yards, maybe you got a lot of confidence in picking up a half yard.
From the Wolverine 49-yard line, the first big play, 4th and inches.
They're trying to draw him. Now the sneak. Looks like he's got it.
He did make it. Budenbender, the quarterback keeper, for the first down.
And if you hear the air horn in the background, that's Phil Budenbender's father. That's not Phil Budenbender.
That's not Marcus Whalen either. Although he has cat-like quickness.
Yeah,
that is not Marcus Whalen.
Very good, Matt. Very good.
But talking with Rich Callahan before the game, he said, I know this motivated Westlake, but this also motivated our team because now we have to back it up. Gonzie Gray also quoted in the Maryland Independent this past week as saying Thomas Stone seemed like they were happy with the SMAC title and weren't that excited to be in the playoffs. So players on each side speaking their minds before this one.
This is a great rivalry.
In just 5 years, it's become one of the best.
Whalen bouncing outside. Gunderson, good defensive position. Forced Whalen to cut it up. Got help from 42 Evans.
A gain of 3 on the play, down to the Wolverine 45. Makes it 2nd down and 7. No score here in the ball game. 2:13 left in the first quarter.
Very closely played ball game. There you see Gunderson and Evans, who combined on that last tackle. Ricardo, a junior. You see Emmanuel Birch. John Richards with those distinctive orange shoes over there. You can't miss him.
I formation. Finnemore at fullback. Whalen at tailback. Pitch to Whalen.
Got a convoy.
They have had a lot of success with this play. They do it again. Whalen, first down.
They had 3 blockers. They out-formationed Westlake that time, Matt, and had some help for Whalen, and he just turned on the speed and picked up the 3rd first down for Thomas Stone. That's the same area that they ran successfully at last week.
Thomas Stone comes in a perfect 10-0. They finished in SMAC 8-0. Won the SMAC championship, their first 10-win season since 1984. Seeded number 3 in Class 3A in the state of Maryland.
It was great to see 2 SMAC teams get in the playoffs, Matt.
Barnes, the wide out here near side. Gunderson covering him defensively. 1st and 10 Cougars. Budenbender going to the air. Throws it short. Farland makes the catch. Or I'm sorry, Fields.
Morgan Fields. Westlake went for the intercept. The ball slid through the hands, and Fields shows had a big catch for a touch last week. Both teams mixing it up. There you see Morgan Fields.
And I have a good stat on Morgan. He had 2 catches coming into this one, both for touchdowns. So that broke his streak, but it's a 6-yard gain for the Cougars. 2nd down and 4.
The power to the left side of the formation.
Whalen at fullback. They faked it to him.
Neal.
Hand off to Neal coming from the wing far side, and 1st down.
He was slowed up by Larry Johnson, but boy, that play was well designed. And Thomas Stone moving the ball very well on this drive. They look for Whalen. They look for Fenimore. Here comes Neal.
Time ticking down, 50 seconds
Here's the
left
replay.
here.
Watch the misdirection and watch Neal. He shows that he has a burst of speed. Got a good block there on a perimeter as well.
40 seconds left here in the 1st quarter. The Cougars marching toward the Wolverine end zone. 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line.
Power to the right side this time.
Neal, Fenimore, and Whalen all in the backfield. Whalen gets the carry. Big hold. Dives through. Down to the 2.
Wow. Marcus showing. Boy, he's got some intensity tonight. Leg drive, power. Moving the ball 9 yards.
And Whalen shows you why he's an all-met running back.
Officials timeout for a measurement. There's the Cougar Mobile. I think it's Mr. Fluharty, who does such a great job with that. And you can notice they've got the 99 Smack banner on there already.
And in memory of Anderson Brock there, that's his number, I assume, from the freshman team.
And the Cougar Mobile getting ready, when Stone scores, they sometimes run up and down the track, but the track is so cluttered with cheerleaders and pom-poms and dance teams. And
13 seconds left in the quarter. Cougars come up just short. 2nd down from about the 2-yard line.
Nick Thompson over the ball for Thomas Stone.
Same formation. Neal, Fenimore, and Whalen in the backfield.
They ran Budenbender last time on the same play.
Budenbender dives right side. Touchdown. Thomas Stone Cougars.
Safest play you can do. Just let Budenbender take it right up the gut, and Thomas Stone gets on the board first.
With just 4 seconds left here in the 1st quarter. Thomas Stone leads 6-0.
Now the all-important extra points. Here's the replay. The QB sneak. Budenbender slides to the right. You can just see him going through there. He picked the hole, and good blocking. Look at the stand-up blocking down there for Thomas Stone.
Farland holds on the extra point. It's a fake. The pitch to Fenimore. Drops it. The ball's loose. And a surprise there is the Cougars. A trick play going for 2 and come up short. So we'll keep it here with just 4 seconds left in the 1st quarter. The Cougars leading the Westlake Wolverines 6-0.
Impressive drive, Matt. A few new wrinkles added by Rich Callahan. Missed point. You know, those are tough sometimes later on the game. And here comes the Cougar Mobile on its first run up and down the track.
Thomas Stone now 5 for 13 on 2-point conversions for the season.
There you go. There you see the spirit of Thomas Stone High School, the Cougar Mobile. So Thomas Stone showing that they surely were not flat, came out. The drive started on their own 40-yard line and marched 60 yards. And all running plays with the exception of one pass to Morgan Fields.
Last week at Westlake, Thomas Stone had an extra point blocked, had a field goal blocked. So maybe that was Rich Callahan's thinking, let's go for 2 this time.
Westlake would love to get a nice long run back here. Phil Budenbender is pumping up the Thomas Stone crowd over here, getting him into the ball game. Deep kick.
Back to the 5-yard line.
Oh, what a stroke. Robert Pepper.
On David Conley.
Robert Pepper. And Matt, I talked to another head coach from an opposing team, and he said number 50 from Thomas Stone is the best lineman on defense that I saw all year.
Conley takes it out to the 20-yard line, and that's the end of the 1st quarter. The Thomas Stone Cougars lead the Westlake Wolverines 6-0. You're watching the Class 3A quarterfinals on the JCTV Game of the Week. As you can see, Stone rules. Up 6 here in the 1st quarter.
Looks like he's bidding for a tryout at the WWF or NWO, or very festive crowd here tonight.
At the end of the 1st quarter, just starting to getting set to start the second quarter here from Alumni Stadium at Thomas Stone High School. Westlake on the run, nobody fooled. Fardland there defensively.
Also Marv Roussel, Thomas Stone. Their defense is predicated, Matt, their defensive linemen penetrate and then read. They don't run beyond the ball carrier, and it's hard. It's a good defense against a wing T team that does a lot of misdirection.
Talked about Thomas Stone, the Westlake Wolverines, 8-2 overall coming in, seeded 6th in the 3A playoffs, and pass to Gunderson complete from Johnson for a Wolverine first down.
Leaf, Gunderson, very good hands on that play. That's the second completion for Johnson, and I think Coach Zach knows, Matt, that he's got to throw the ball on occasion to move the sticks. Did a good job there. Very safe pass.
Westlake's last playoff appearance last year, they had a 21-0 lead at Broadneck and ended up losing 22-21 in the first round, and that was right here on JCTV. 1st and 10 Wolverines.
You see Randy Starks, 53.
From the 34-yard line, Johnson fakes to Hicks, keeps it on his hip.
Good.
Nice.
That's how the option should be run. The pivot, the read, and the run. Larry Johnson's strength is the run, and he's a good ball carrier. Mike Holly, 71, coming into the lineup for Thomas Stone. Brian Sims injured and not dressed tonight, the big lineman for Thomas Stone.
Johnson on the season, 69 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns as they measure for the first down, and just short.
There you see part of the Thomas Stone entourage. Their pom and dance team captured the regional EDA championship at Westlake last weekend. Very successful pom and dance squad here at Thomas Stone High School.
Early second quarter, Thomas Stone leads Westlake 6-0. 3 wideouts again, 2 here to the near side, 1 far side. Handoff up the middle, Dennis Hicks.
One man
separation. Mark Johnson tries to track him down at the 5. Touchdown, Dennis Hicks.
And that is, what, 50 or 55 yards?
We'll call it 56 yards.
And Matt, the extra point now is crucial. 56, Dennis Hicks showed combination that time, strength to the hole, and then outran everybody.
10 minutes, 30 seconds left here in the second quarter. We're all tied at 6.
And Paskovich, here's the replay, Hicks right up the gut, and then just outruns everybody. You can see all the blue shirts, and they ain't going to get him. And Johnson is fast, and he couldn't. Westlake had only 10 people on they need a timeout. Westlake needs a time.
Both teams struggling with special teams here early. The score all tied at 6. You're watching the JCTV Game of the Week, brought to you by Walmart of Waldorf.
It didn't take Westlake long, less than 2 minutes to get back in this ball game, and Dennis Hicks right up the gut, and then a sprint.
The leading point scorer for Westlake on the season, Hicks, with his 11th rushing touchdown.
One of the things in previous Westlake wins, they've always gotten some big runs from their backs. Last week, other than Gray's, they had pretty much short gains. This was a big morale booster for Westlake.
Paskovich will apparently attempt the kick for extra point.
Kevin Hyder, the defensive coordinator, talking to his Cougars.
Dan Smizer, the holder. We fully expect them to kick this, but Smizer can throw the ball.
Paskovich, winning kick against Calvert earlier in the year. And now this is botched, and this
Bad
is a
snap.
fake.
Smizer picks it up wide open. Gunderson in the left corner, but Smizer throws it over the middle, and Stone makes the defensive play. Flag comes in late.
Probably a lineman downfield. Now he's eating it.
Picks it up, but in the far corner of the end zone, 44 Leaf
He couldn't
Gunderson.
see him, though. There was too much pressure.
I don't think that was designed, do you? Just a bad...
I don't know. I don't know.
10:30 left here, second quarter. Thomas Stone 6, Westlake 6 on the JCTV Game of the Week. Paskovich to kick off. Finnemore and Johnson back deep for the Cougars. Flags fly.
That's usually where an offside is. Westlake being very, very careful. They do not want to kick the ball directly to Fenimore or Johnson to let them get a good run back.
Well, they're both back at the Cougar 20-yard line.
Well,
Marcus Whalen is up at the 35-yard line in case they want to kick it short.
Stone relies so much on their return game. It's a big part, Matt, of their offensive scheme. When you got three people like Whalen, Johnson, and Fenimore, they all have that propensity to take the ball, go right up the gut, find a seam, then turn it on.
All three players have kick returns for touchdown on the season. Offsides on the Wolverines. They back up to the 35-yard line.
There you see the Cougar sideline.
Looked like they were offsides again. No flag this time. Rich Callahan screaming on the sidelines as Johnson bobbles, then picks it up.
Good hit, too.
And he's dropped at the 30-yard line.
Looked like Adam Zapata and Adam Paskovich making some contact down there. So it turned out to be a pretty good kick.
I'm not sure what kind of shot we had of that kickoff, but it sure did look like the Wolverines were offside again. And Rich Callahan talking with one of the officials on the